Drop the Puck, and today we've got an interesting battle between two teams. One we know very well because we've already featured them a few times in Drop the Puck, but a new team called Solway Sharks, currently sitting at the top of the Moralee Conference, unbeaten, are facing the Deeside Dragons. Ben, what's this game look like to you?
It's going to be an epic battle for the Dragons. Unfortunately, the Dragons find themselves currently on a bit of bad form. That's 3 game losses back to back. We saw them previously against the Whitley Warriors. I think they've certainly gone away and learnt a few lessons from that game. Solway Sharks, on the other hand, unbeaten so far this season, Gary.
Well, of course, Deeside currently sitting in 6th place. Only 7 points to show for that after 9 games. Solway have only played 7 games. We're currently at top with 14 points. A really, really big battle, like you've already said, Ben. But to get more about the analysis of the game and the players that we're likely to see, we're going to hand over to our analyst, Mike Jones and Oz Phillips.
We have news that Dragons have been boasted by the return of fan favourite Jordan Bannon in the week. Obviously, he's a prolific goal scorer for the Dragons a couple of seasons ago. But at this current time, is it really what Dragons need is another forward? You know, they're conceding a lot of goals at the moment. They're conceding 35 goals in the last 4 games. That's a lot of goals to be conceded. We know they can score goals, but can they stop them going in the back of the net? You know, and that brings on to tonight's opponent, Solway Sharks. You know, they're a fantastic team. Dragons last week against Whitley Bay Warriors, they competed with the Warriors during the game, but it's then 5-minute spells that let them down. To me, tonight's focus for the Dragons is actual focus, okay? They need to make sure they can focus for the full 60 minutes, not for parts of the game, because when they weren't focused, they got punished, and they got punished heavily. So also, last year, obviously, Solway became a mid-table team, you know, just made the playoffs. Now they're undefeated league leaders. What's been the difference?
I think one of the big differences for them has been defence. Defence. Last season, I was saying a lot that they needed a netminder to step forward, and that's what Kieran Hobbins did towards the end of last season. This year, he's hit the ground running. He's statistically the best netminder in this division at the moment. He's not playing tonight, unfortunately. He's got other commitments, but still they've got 2 import defensemen. There's no other team in the league that has that setup. They've got Juraj Senko, who is acknowledged as probably being the best 2-way defenseman in the league, and then they've got Kim Yaitanen from Finland. He played for the Blackburn Hawks last season. He won the league and the playoffs with the Hawks, and he was highly rated, highly regarded. I mean, in the fantasy rankings for this league, you know, 3 of the top 5 defensemen are Sharks. Hutchinson is the 3rd person on that. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've also been scoring. They've lost Bentham. Bentham has gone back to the Hawks earlier on this season, but Connor Henderson, you know, he's only, 19 years old at the minute. He's fantastic. Last year he was in Michigan. The season before, when I first saw him, he was a face cage. He played some games against the Hawks, Blackburn Hawks, again, another game that I did on the radio, and he ran rings around him. This little kid in a face mask causing havoc. And sure enough, this year he's come back, senior player, and he's really putting up the points for the Sharks. So, okay, yeah, they are defensively minded now, but they've got that attacking threat when they need it. I think they're more clinical than they were when they finished mid-season, mid-table.
They're playing more of a unit, aren't they? You know, they're not scoring that many goals. I think they scored 28 goals in the first 6 games. It's not a lot of goals, you know. Deeside are scoring a lot more goals than that, but I think they're playing as a unit, as a 5. They're moving up the ice and moving down the ice as a 5.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Martin Grubb's a fantastic coach. You know, he's coached at international junior level. He's certainly someone that knows what he's doing. And the Sharks tend to travel quite lightly. You know, some teams would be quite worried if they travelled in such low numbers as the Sharks do. They're so well drilled that it's quality over quantity with them every single time.
That's it, and I think it's going to be an exciting game, but it's going to be a tough ask for the Dragons to overcome the Sharks tonight.
I think it is, but I think the Dragons are going to give as good a game as they can.
Thank you, and back to Gary.
So interesting points. It's going to be a really big feature on Deeside getting through that Solway defence.
Certainly, obviously, mentioned there that the fact they brought on Jordan Bannon, that's going to be, you know, another prolific shooter there for Deeside. But again, is a more offensive unit what Deeside need? Surely it'd be the back they need to bolster, Gary.
Well, the thing is, they always say defence wins games, but I don't know if that's going to be the case anymore. Certainly, Deeside have got to step up to the plate today, and they've got nothing to lose. They've got to make it pay. So obviously, the likes of Mark Lovell and that are going to have to bolster them, keep them together, and make sure that they can get points on the board today. They've got to come out with something.
Yeah, certainly. At the moment, you can consider Deeside a bit of a wounded animal. I mean, the Sharks, are they going to smell blood in the water, Gary?
Well, that's the thing. Can Deeside find a way through that shark net, or are they going to be wailing at the bottom of the division?
Oh, come on, you're just trawling for lines now.
See what we did there. So with that, it's time to drop the puck.
Puck's dropped and Solway straight in possession. Gary, it's the first place in the Moralee Conference against the 6th place. It's going to be a tough battle for the Dragons tonight.
Well, hopefully this is going to be the game where things can turn around for the Dragons. They need to do something now.
Quick pass comes into Coulter, he goes through the middle, looks to find Murray, and that's just going to be played out. And there's a big hit at the front of the Dragons board there by Bannon. And he's certainly going to be welcomed back to the Dragons with a hit like that. As Solway now in the corner looks to clear, but it's picked up by the Dragons. McKenzie clears it over to Cancaranta. Cancaranta near side, breaks the blue, steps inside, and it's a brilliant stick check there. That looks to be Senko, Juraj Senko, with a quality defensive move there that's going to keep the Dragons flow. As Solway regain now, gain possession, breaking the blue, looking for the man in the middle, but it's going to be intercepted. As we break away again with the Dragons, Philip Super looks inside, takes a backhand shot, and it's going to go straight down the throat there. And that's Callum Hepburn in net tonight for the Solway Sharks.
Well, let's hope that's a sign of things to come tonight, because the Dragons are quick out the blocks there.
As we get ready for the face-off now, Andy Chappell lining up for the Dragons. And it looks like Moore's won that there for the Solway Sharks. Very prolific in the face-off, as Solway look to set something up now very quickly behind their own net. As they break out, it's a stick check there from Simon Furnival. And Kim Yetman, this side, quickly meets Mark Lovell. He's able to dispossess him and put the puck in, but it's just going to be swarmed out there by those Sharks. Philip Super applying the pressure. And Solway look to set and go again. As they break through no man's land, it's Moore, he's brought down. The puck's just going to trickle to this near side.
It's noticeable how they're freely passing this puck around, Solway.
Very much so, something that we know the Dragons did last game against the Whitley Warriors. Sat back very defensively and invited that pressure on as Cancaranta feeds Simon Furnival into the corner. Gary, how detrimental was that though, that previous game where he sat back?
Yeah, that's... there's a shot flying in there.
Yeah, Cancaranta's all over the show there. Furnival, as Josh Richardson wearing a candy shirt feeds that back in. And it's Furnival with a shot and he misses, and he's just able to keep that out. Hepburn having a really good game so far, just dropping into that default butterfly position, able to keep the puck out, and it's in! Scott McKenzie.
And that's the start the Dragons really need. Scott McKenzie must be really pleased there.
It's got to be what could possibly be the start of the turnaround of the season for them, Gary.
Well, let's hope it is. I mean, that's the ideal start for them. Hopefully they can build on that. It's after the losses they've had against Whitley, and they definitely need to turn it round. They can't afford a bad game today.
Face-off is won by Solway. Juraj Senko skates back, looks to find a man in the middle, finds Moore. Moore looks to put that through to Murray, but Murray's unable to receive that as the Dragons throw all bodies in the way again.
You know, Jones is struggling a little bit there.
Pressure now coming as Scott McKenzie looks to break out with the blue. Just cuts back inside and breaks that Solway up. As Bannon is dispossessed. Comes back to the stick of Jones. Jones over to McKenzie. McKenzie just dumps that in. Bannon chasing. Parry circling. Furnival looking for the loose puck, and it's come all the way down there to the Dragons' end. Face off. Won crucially there by Solway as they just chip that up, look to clear it, but it's only made it to the blue line. Lovell has to be careful there in case he gets called for offside, but he's played it well. Well played there by the Dragons. Chris G on the far side. Right on that blue line, didn't get called offside as the Dragons now.
It went up quite high there. I was surprised there wasn't snow on it coming down.
As we're with Cancaranta. Round the back, it's going to go to Wigglesworth. G, looking for the man out front, there's no one there. Through traffic, it's deflected, but it's going to be quickly picked up by Lovell. Lovell having to bring it back as his forwards come back over that blue line. Kankaranta back to Lovell.
And counting down the final 5 seconds of the game.
At this period, Gary, it's 1-0 Dragons going into the end of the first period against the top flight side, Solway Sharks.
Scott McKenzie's got to be really, really happy with that. The performance of the Dragons completely different to what it was last week. Let's see if it's more than the same.
Well, you'll be able to join us back in part 2. And we're back for the second period as the Dragons still 1 goal to the good against the Solway Sharks. That goal coming from player coach Scott McKenzie as Solway looked to break very early on the second period round the back of the Dragons' net.
It's notable that McKenzie's playing a more defensive role tonight.
Certainly think after last week's performance against the Whitley Warriors, that's not necessarily a bad idea, Gary. As Parry unable to receive that, and the shot comes in. Jonah Armstrong gets down and keeps that out with the leg pads. Kankaranta lays out. Round to McKenzie.
Oh, and he slammed into the wall there.
Big hit coming, it's pass out to Kankaranta. Kankaranta unable to reel that in as Parry unable to bring that. Murray deflected off McKenzie, and Jones is just going to play that round the boards to Solway to pick up. That's more. Kankaranta feeds McKenzie. McKenzie breaks that blue for the first time in a while, but Moore's able to shut out Bannon. Jordan Bannon making his return back to the Dragons' den.
A quick line change there. McKenzie switched him for Lovell.
As Lovell's able to put a deflection on that, and Wainwright. Very good, experienced defensive unit now in for the Dragons there, Gary, of Wainwright and Lovell.
Yeah, hopefully it'll help them.
Super. Oh, takes a shot. It's
Help them consolidate that defence a bit more. But I think it's Solway that needs consolidating at the moment.
And it's Solway again with the face-off win. Very critical with those tonight, Gary, inside their own zone.
Yeah, but they're not capitalising on anything. At the moment, they just seem to be playing nice hockey, but not getting anything for it.
Shot comes in, and Armstrong gets his glove up for that. Works all the way round again to Kerr. Kerr's just going to feed that back in. As Coulter is met by Austin. Austin just kicks that away to Kennedy. Kennedy trying to find Williams, but it's thrown back in there by Murray. Ross Murray, and it's coming, it's a goal! And that looks to be Juraj Senko with that one.
Well, it's been coming. But it's just a turning point. They look a different Sharks team now.
Face-off picked up by the Dragons. Chappell back to Wainwright. Feeds Super. Super's just going to dump that in. Natsenko, goal scorer for Solway. Plays it back. Over the blue line. Murray tries to knock that on. He's got it on. Spears chases that down. But Lovell's there to dispossess him. It's Wainwright. Plays that round the board. Tied up in no man's land. Lovell plays that out. Furnival unable to control that. Goes wide and it's picked up there. It's Super. Super across the blue. Shot comes in through traffic. Senko in the way. Out to Furnival. Furnival looks for the man in the middle.
Oh, that was unlucky.
And it's very quickly picked up and it's broken the other way. Spears shoots and he's done it. Well, that's a top shelf against Armstrong. He's not going to be happy with himself. Very quick break there by Spears.
That was a quick flick up into that corner there. The way he's done the counter-attack, coming down the right-hand side of the ice there.
So, Solway 2, Dragons 1, 5 minutes gone in the second period. Now, Gary, we know Solway are a very defensive team. Is this a point, at this point in the game now, you've got a goal up, do you park the bus?
I don't think so, because they haven't enough players to, short bench tonight. But like we said, they've got experienced players, and they're passing the puck around confidently, getting around the ice. They're gradually finding the holes in the Dragons' defence.
Dragons obviously suffering after that last game against Whitley still.
And Deeside win that face-off. 7:28 gone in this second period, and Deeside are taking up a lot of pressure at the moment from Solway.
Yeah, we can see already that the Dragons are trying to break out, but they're unable to at the moment. They're just allowing those loose pucks like that to be picked up by Solway and shot at goal. Again, the Solway Sharks with the face-off win. And Gary, they might not have many numbers with them, but what they have got, they are being clinical with.
Yeah, they're quite feisty as well, and quite rightly defend their place at the top of the Moralee at the moment.
Yeah, let's remember these are the #1 seeded team at the moment. Unbeaten, I might add as well, and still got 2 games on hand over these Deeside Dragons.
Well, we've still got a period and a half left to go with this game. I'm sure Deeside may have something to say about that.
Bannon finds Parry, looks for the pass back in the slot. Nobody there. Hepburn gets down, deflects that shot out from Kennedy. As Kankaranta plays that round. Bannon finds Mackenzie out in the middle. Mackenzie shoots. Hits bodies. It's fallen back to Jones. Jones back in. It's off the boards behind the goal. Kept in by Kankaranta. Plays to the corner. Out to the point of Mackenzie. Mackenzie, what's he going to do? Looks like he's going to put that back in. Finds Bannon. High pressure coming from the Dragons, but it leads to nothing. 10.5 minutes gone in this second period, and the Dragons find themselves on the first power play of this period as Kim Yetnan finds himself in the box for 2 minutes. Dragons now certainly need to capitalise with this one-man up advantage.
Oh, and that was almost in.
And it's in!
No, it's not.
No, Bannon!
Just on the outside of the net, so close.
And Hepburn certainly feeling the pressure now from the Dragons. As the Dragons just
right across goal as well there.
trying to find an opening. Their power play unit, a good one this year, but probably not the best. Solway's defensive power play, though, certainly not letting up any goals.
No, I think they'll just sit there and soak up the pressure for the next minute, and just over a minute remaining of the power play. But Deeside have got to make this count.
Trying to work that puck around, pick an opening. Right now, it seems like Solway have got every bit of this ice covered in their own zone. Lovell feeds that into the corner. Mackenzie behind net. As, again, the Dragons looking to move it. Kankaranta back at the blue. Feeds that in to Mackenzie. He's out in front and there's no one there. And Hepburn's down on that to freeze it out. Dragons win that face-off. As they definitely now, with a little over 2.5 minutes remaining in the second period, need to try and at least go into the third, Gary, tied up.
Well, they need to stop being a bit dangerous in front of net, like they were the last game against Whitley. They were.
And it's silly mistakes like that, Gary. They're giving away the puck in front of net again as Henderson looks to try and find support, but it's picked away by G. And Furnival cleared only to no man's land for Chappell to pick up. Miscommunication, but it's out to Super. Super just inside the point, takes a shot. Hepburn's got down his glove. Face-off is won by Solway, but cleared onto the stick of Austin at the blue. Austin takes a shot out in front, and it's a goal! Kankaranta with the rebound. Assist coming from Gav Austin with a shot. And that's exactly what the Dragons needed.
This is what we've been saying all season with the Dragons. The pucks come flying in, the keepers just knock them down, and there's never been anybody there to pick up the slack and pick up those loose pucks, stick them in. Tonight, Super K was there and he's done what he needed to do. He's brought the Dragons level. Game on.
Face off again is won by Solway. And Wainwright has that on the boards though. It's sent round the board for Super to try and pick up. Super putting his body in the way. Henderson playing that back. Picked up in the blue by Chappell. Chappell keeps that in. McKenzie forcing Solway to try and play from behind the net. Into the final minute of the second period now. And it's a quick break again from Solway through. And he's brought down. That appears to be Murray. As we go back again.
Oh,
and Henderson, cheeky little trip on McKenzie there with the stick.
Letting him know he's there.
Could be fireworks yet, Gary. As we break again, McKenzie. Shot comes in. And that's Edmonds. Solway certainly not dead in the water yet as we're into the final 5 seconds.
Moore's got it pinned on the boards there.
3, 2, 1.
Well,
a bit of an action-packed period there, Gary.
Well, you've got to say 2-2. Deeside giving as good as they get. Solway starting to step into it a little bit. But if I was Chief Brody, I'd be saying, we've kept the Sharks at bay this time.
We'll pick the action up in the third period. Hopefully the Dragons can shut this out, or Solway will be able to finish the game off. And as we start this third period, Solway 2, Dragons 2.
You couldn't make it any tighter, Ben. It's been an excellent game up to now.
And it's all going to be down to the crucialness now of each team and the way they act. We know Solway can be very precise and clinical with their passing. Is that going to open up the Dragons for the winning goal? Or are the Dragons just going to overload with that offensive unit they've got at the moment?
Well, I must say, the key for me has got to be that Scott McKenzie in defence.
Face-off very quickly, won by the Dragons. And yes, Gary, McKenzie in that pivotal defensive role tonight, he certainly has made a difference.
Yeah, he certainly has, and they've stepped their game up a little bit. It's made it a little tighter. Things have been a little bit more precise.
Kankaranta and Parry applying pressure heavily up. There's McKenzie in that defensive position. Breaks a blue and he's fed it out. It's come out though, so all the forwards will have to drop back now. Don't want that offside call, and there's a puck. Wildly makes its way to the middle. It's picked up by Jones of the Dragons.
McKenzie's lost his stick.
He's just going to dump that in and go for a quick change there for the Dragons. As Solway now will try and capitalise. Wild pass comes in from Spears. He's found Murray. Quickly now, Solway trying to gain possession, but the Dragons able to reel that back in. It's with Bannon. Bannon to Lovell, back to Bannon on the boards. Plays it around to Jones. It's a loose pass picked up.
And notably, Ben, it's the Solway are quick with their line changes and keeping the players fresh, even though they've got a short bench.
Again, we said it at the start of the show, Gary. We found it with these shorter bench teams that sometimes it's the quality of the player over the quantity of the team.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Super. Near side. Looks to lay a shot on it. Gone to Hepburns. Padding down. He freezes that play out. 2 minutes in the third period. Chappell again goes in for the face-off, but is unfortunate there as Solway very quickly get that, but it's Lovell who picks that up in no man's land. Feeds Wainwright. Wainwright to Furnival. Furnival looking to break blue. Just going to chip that in around the boards as Chappell comes in inside. Should have taken the shot, but brings it round the net, round to Wainwright. Looking for the deflection there is Super. But Solway recover that loose puck and he's gone down there. Chappell quickly looks to opportunise off the puck. But it's only round to Lovell. He puts it around the board. Super takes a big hit there. It's down. We've got to get an icing call. As Parry wins that face-off. Dragons inside the Shark zone. Lovell looks to put that through. It's through traffic. Come back out to Parry. Bannon feeds Lovell. Lovell round the boards. Trying to find Kankaranta, but it's going to go all the way around to Parry. And it's gone right around to Wainwright.
And they're on the attack already.
Oh, counter-attack stopped there by Bannon.
And that's the one thing that Solway have been good at tonight, the counter-attack. but their speed has been immense.
Looking for a pass to break out now. And Senko finds more to Tonner, and he shoots it in! And Sturren Tonner with a top shelf right just down the ear hole of Jonah Armstrong, sorry. And that certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons, Gary. Face off again in the Dragon zone, but it's won by the Dragons as Bannon feeds that round the back of his own net. Over the blue line, gingerly onto Sharks net. And the Sharks now just looking to turn around as Lovell keeps that in. We're going to get a call. And that looks to be a high stick. Face-offs won by the Sharks in their own zone. 3-2 up in this 10th minute of the third period. As they look to break out. It's a wild long pass to the Dragons blue line.
And notably, they have somebody sitting on that line every time.
Very much so. They're very quick on the counter-attack and breakout, but as is Furnival, we break now with the Dragons. Chipple over now. On the boards, Andy Chappell, bit of a workhorse for the Dragons. Finds Furnival. Furnival unable to bring that under as Tonar is going to play it off the board. Super under heavy pressure there from Senko. You're right, Senko. Keeping him tied up on the boards as somebody goes down there. And we've got a... Looks like Senko takes a hit and goes down. Face off centre ice after the puck travelled into the penalty area here at the Dragons' den. And with a little over 12 minutes in this third period, top of the league, Sharks currently winning 3-2 over the Dragons. Bannon picks that up inside his own zone. Kankaranta tries to deeks, comes back on stick of Bannon. Bannon tries to deeks round, but head bends out quickly and dives on there. And we've got Bannon over on the far side looking to start something there.
I think he was getting held as he was trying to reach for that puck with his stick. And
we seem to have a Dragons player there. That's Alex Parry getting tied up there as well. And we're going to have people go into the box. As we've got in the box so far for the Solway Sharks is Spears. And in the box for the Dragons, we've got Clancy and Parry. And 2-minute power play in favour of the Solway Sharks at the moment.
A little strange, if I'm honest there, Ben, because I thought it was the Dragons that were being impeded. And it's them that are now down to 4 men.
Well, 4 men in little over 14 minutes into this third period. And they're a goal down. They need every man on the ice they can get right now. As Murray just feeds that puck around. This special teams unit again of the Solway Sharks, very critical and clinical. Just passing that puck around, moving it around. Senko at the point, finds space. Puck moves forward, and the Dragons need to do something now. Ryan Jones able to hook that out. It's quickly picked up by McKenzie, who plays that round the board, and that's well cleared by McKenzie with a minute of this power play already gone. Dragons take the opportunity for a quick line change, as do Solway Sharks.
We've got to keep people fresh here. This is with just over 6 minutes remaining. This is going to be a quick tempo final flurry towards the final whistle.
Sharks stopped there by Marcus Kankaranta, and Bannon just flicks the puck back deep into their zone. 30 seconds left of this power play. Mietinen looking for Tonar on his left. Kerr on his right, finds Kerr. Works that puck around. And Kankaranta circling around. Wainwright in the corner. He's able to gain that puck, and he just chips that away. 10 seconds left in this.
And Bannon chasing that down.
We've seen it before. We know the Dragons can score short-handed goals. As near side now, Kankaranta is just able to dig that out, and it's done enough. Dragons are back to full strength. Still though, Spears and Parry sat in the box for those other penalties.
And a quick line change by the Dragons again.
Kerr, fans on the pass. Off the boards, Chappell's able to dig that out and Williams passes that over. Found through to Venable, Venable shoots!
Oh!
It's a diving effort there to shut that passing lane off as Austin plays that puck back in. McKenzie picks that up, centre ice. Henderson turns that around, looks to break the blue line as he does. Dunn passes that off, looking for it back just inside the slot, but McKenzie's there to shut that down. Scott McKenzie doing everything he can at the back tonight, trying to rally his Dragons. As Austin just puts that back over the blue. Little under 4 minutes remaining in this third period, and if you're the Solway Sharks, Gary, surely all you want to do now is park the bus, shut up shop and just hold out for the win.
Yeah, it's tempting to do it, but I mean, clearly Solway can move that puck around, and
as the shot's coming in, it's gone in.
As I was about to say, they're not frightened of having a go.
And as we restart after that timeout, face-off is won by the Dragons. Lovely in possession of that. 16:30 gone in this third period. Solway Sharks 4, Dragons 2. Kankaranta.
And to be honest with you, Ben, the game score does not reflect how this game has gone. It's been very, very close. Both teams battling away.
Lovell puts that in. Comes out to Wigglesworth on the board. He feeds that back in. Looking to find Kankaranta. Finds Wainwright in the corner. He's brought down. Puck flies out. It's going to be met by Lovell.
Oh, nearly.
Shot comes in. It's just tippled wide. Wainwright with the shot again. Through traffic. Gino picks out, and that's a slash to the back of the legs. Fans are in, up in arms over this one, but play continues as it's against the boards now. Kankaranta. And you can see now that the Solway have, again we spoke about it earlier, Gary, that physicality, they've stepped it up another level now. Face-offs quickly won by the Sharks, but the Dragons are applying all the pressure as Super outside in the corner. McKenzie unable to keep hold of that, and it's found. Spears in the middle, but that's going to be Jones to try and dig that found. It's a Meetinen. Meetinen covered by Jones and Chappell around the back of the Dragons goal. McKenzie's around the back there. We've got little under 2 minutes remaining in this third period. McKenzie for the Dragons. Forward finds Philip Super. Back to Chappell. Jones puts that in on net, but it's shut out very quickly. Turn from Furnival. Just goes wide of Hepburn's net. Super looking for a man out front. Brings around the back of the net. Stick lift. Allows the puck to run wide as Hutchinson does his job there. McKenzie unable to feed that back in and sneaking it around. They've broken out. Spears is one-on-one. Jones misses a check. Spears.
It's in. It's in. They've done enough.
And a slight mistake by Ryan Jones allows Spears to deke around him. Take the puck one-on-one with Armstrong, and then they've put the game to bed, Gary.
They certainly have. That's Jones tried to come across and check him into the boards, but he dinked him, got round him, and it was one-on-one with the keeper. What more could you expect? He was going to put that away.
Face off, won by the Sharks after that fifth goal, and it's certainly quiet in the crowd here inside the den. Murray over the blue line. Shot comes in from Senko.
And it's those shots like that where they're bouncing around and nobody there to clear them away.
Kankaranta tries to regain it, but Lovell plays that over to Wainwright. Bannon picks it up. Cross ice pass to Kankaranta. Off the boards, unable to reel it in. Solway try and turn it, but Lovell's got it. Brings it through into the corner. Solway able to dig that out. Kankaranta stops it. Bannon at the point. Finds Kankaranta in the corner. Tries to find Lovell in the middle. Puck comes loose. Solway clear it. Henderson. And that's the game.
Well, that was end-to-end stuff there. And like I said earlier, Ben, the result does not reflect how that game went.
Yeah, you can see Jonah Armstrong's disheartened there, but he's had a really good game. The amount of shots he actually stopped from going in, as you say, the actual physical score there doesn't warrant what the performance that we've seen there. As Solway Sharks now maintain their grip at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, that's 8 games and 8 wins for Solway Sharks. They're proving their dominance at the top here. Very, very powerful and fruitful display from them tonight, considering they were short-benched. Deeside, on the other hand, a lot learned from today. Scott McKenzie can't be disheartened by the performance. They were a lot better this week than they were against Whitley last week. I'm sure he's congratulating his countrymen there on a well-played game. But for me, without a doubt, Scott McKenzie playing defensively, that was a big part.
Yeah, certainly, Gary. Obviously, we know Mackenzie's got vast experience anyway, but having that from the back leading forward this time, having the ability to do that as well, start play from the back, that was a major factor for the Dragons tonight. Saying again, though, we said it at the start of the show, and we'll end with it now, it's quality over quantity when it comes to the Solway Shark. Just because they roll up with 11 men doesn't mean you're going to walk over them.
Well, so the main thing is now, with that, we'll go down to the tunnel and get some interviews and see what the feedback is from the coaches.
So a hat-trick for you tonight. Obviously it's got to feel good. What did you think of it?
It was good. It's just someone had to start to get us going. Then got one, then I got 2 more.
Yeah, I noticed that it was a little bit low from the Sharks until you scored that first goal, and your effort from that score and that first goal, you really skated hard and forechecked hard from that. Did it give you some motivation to score in the first?
Yeah, we just need something to click and get us going, and that was it. Just kept going from there.
And then obviously that second goal, some nice hands there, going one-on-one with the goaltender. Practice that a lot in training?
That doesn't happen very often.
Okay, so obviously this is the first time the Sharks have played the Dragons. What did you expect from the Dragons?
I wasn't expecting them to quite as hard as that. They were much better than we thought they were going to be. So surprised at that.
Thank you very much. Scott, last week you wanted a response. Did you get one?
Definitely. It was a great performance from my guys tonight. I'm very proud of them. They came up. You know what? I told them to come together. We had nothing to lose tonight, so we're a very strong team. And we knew it was going to be hard, but we gave ourselves a chance to win. And that's what I wanted from the start of the season. I wanted every night we turn up and we have a chance to win. And I can't say anything negative tonight. I thought the guys from Jonah back in net, he's 16 years old. He had an absolutely brilliant game. Right through our D-core and our forwards, everyone bought in tonight and done a great job.
So tonight we saw the return of Jordan Bannon. How do you think his performance was after being off the ice for so long?
I think he's got some rust to shake off, but he's certainly a talent. And you know what, he adds to our lineup a great amount. He's fast, he's got a great shot. So I look forward to seeing him prosper over the next few weeks, because he's certainly. We've got 4 practices with him now before he plays the next game. So by the time, I'm not sure who we play next, but by the time we go into that next game, I'm sure he'll be flying.
So yeah, you have a week off next week, and then you face the Solihull Barons, where you've won one and lost one. What are you going to do in training now to work on that game?
Well, the last game was a bit of a shootout with them, so hopefully we want to work in our D zone again and just be a little bit tighter. But again, Solihull, we know we can beat them. We've beat them this season already, and they've not been here yet. So we just need to take out their star players, and hopefully we can get a performance again and 2 points.
So after tonight, we're going to see a new position of defenseman by Scott McKenzie.
I don't know. I wanted to try it tonight and see if it helped us out. I feel like I've done okay, but there's other guys. Ross Kennedy's coming back, so he'll more than fill my shoes back there. So I think Scott McKenzie as a forward's a better player than Scott McKenzie as a D-man.
Thanks very much, Scott. We're here with Coach Grubb. Unbeaten in the league this year. What's been the difference since last year coming fourth to being unbeaten this year?
I think we've built our dressing room in good characters, hard work, a lot of speed this year, and we've got a young team, they're hungry. So the last couple of years we went from winning things to a little bit of a lull, and other teams were battling harder on us. So this year, we've went to the hunger, and so far so good, it's paying off for us.
And obviously you were short bench tonight. How important was dictating the pace of the game tonight for you?
You know, I knew that Scott would have his team up for the game. I've known Scott a long time, and I knew they would come hard, and even reading his programme notes, they were going to come after losing a couple of games. So we've been short bench. We said we needed to try and execute our system, and as you say, try and dictate the play. And in the first period, we didn't manage to do it, and we paid the price for that. I thought after that, we started to get pucks deep, and we managed to conserve our energy for the key times that we needed it. But we knew that it was going to be a battle for 60 minutes, and that's exactly what it was. So it was important that we played the second 40 minutes there was better for us, and we're just thankful with that short bench that we managed to get the result tonight.
And finally, we hear Hobbins might have picked up a bit of an injury and could be out for a little bit of time. How hard will that be to replace him?
He's going to skate Friday, I think, all being well, and that will give us an indication of how long he's out for. But Kieran's been really good for us this year, so if we do have to try and replace him, it's going to be tough. He's gave us a chance to win every night. We've got Callum Hepburn that played tonight, who's on a two-way with Paisley. So Cal, he'll do a job, and he might need some confidence, but it'll be difficult to replace Kieran if it is longer term, and we hopefully, well, as I say, we'll find out more on Friday, and it's fingers crossed right now that it's a little bit shorter term and we can battle through, worst case, to the Christmas break and see where we are from there.
Thanks for your time and a safe trip home.
Thank you very much.
So a 5-2 result there for Solway Sharks. Deeside still licking their wounds a little bit, Ben.
Certainly, they came out really well, out the blocks very quickly. Mackenzie with that very early goal, and we thought, we were on for a bit of a different game, but the game we got still was a good one.
And as we said throughout the game as well, Mackenzie playing in defence, as Mike pointed out in the interview there with him, it's not going to be his usual position, but it was influential tonight.
Certainly, he made a difference there at the back tonight. We know, it's something he's very influential, but whichever position he's put in. So I think it's something for him maybe to go away and train with the lads and work on a bit more.
So Solway, of course, came in with a game plan, and they knew about Deeside, and as I said in the interview there, their game plan seemed to work. They knew that Deeside were going to be aggressive and come out the blocks fast. Do you think that Deeside took a lot from this?
Certainly, it's a better result than against Whitley straight away. It was a bit of a learning curve for them. It's the first year in the Moralee, and right now they're not exactly doing bad. They're able to hold out with most teams. What it is for the Dragons, unfortunately, is the silly little mistakes. All they've got to do is tighten those up, and they're real contenders.
So with that, another loss for the Dragons. They've got to start thinking about the game against Solihull in a couple of weeks' time, and then they've got Blackburn Hawks a week after that. Solway Sharks, got to be happy sitting at the top of the Moralee. They've got a lot of game in hands on some of the teams below them. Things are looking good for them. So with that, we'll say thanks a lot for joining us. Catch us again on Drop the Puck. We'll bring you more from the NIHL.